Right, so we're going to start with the colour that you've chosen to do the centre of your daisy. It doesn't have to be yellow, it can be whatever colour you would like. They can all be multicoloured, all different colours. So we're going to make a slip knot, and we're going to start with chain of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then join that into the first chain to create the loop. Okay, so we're going to do 12 double crochet into this loop, but the first one's going to be a 2 chain, so chain 2, and then 12 double crochet. So double crochet is yarn over, insert hook into the loop, yarn over, pull up through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2. So again, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2. So now we've got the chain that we started with and the 2 that we've just done, so we've got 3, so we need 12. So go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've done our 12 double crochet into the ring, and then we're going to go to our chain that we started, and we're just going to slip stitch into the top of that chain, pull it through, I'm going to snip that off, and then grab your centre tail and give that a tug. Nice and firm to bring it in. Now you've got your centre for your daisy, and I'm just going to sew in the ends because I always do it as I go along. Saves you having tons and tons of ends to sew in when you're finished. And it can be quite tedious, so just get it done out of the way. Snip those off. So there we have the centre of our daisy. So then we're going to take our next colour. And we're going to join it in. I usually just poke it through with my nail, but this one's a bit tight, so I'm going to come from the back, here, and I'm going to grab that yarn and pull it through. And then I can just tie a knot to secure it. So now we want 12 petals for our daisy. And each petal is a treble crochet cluster of 3. And we do that by attaching your yarn, and in your first stitch you're going to do chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So that counts as your first treble for your starting cluster. And then you're going to do yarn over twice, back into the same space that you've just come out of, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and then it's take 2, yarn over, take 2, and leave these 2 on the hook, yarn over twice, back into that same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2. So you've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and chain 2. So then our next cluster is yarn over twice into our next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2, leave these 2 on the hook, yarn over twice, back into that same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2. Got 3 loops on the hook, and we've done 2 trebles. So we need to do 1 more because we want 3. So back into the same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2, and now you've got 4 loops on the hook. So yarn over and pull through all 4, and chain 2. So there was a chain 2 space in between. So we'll just do the next one. So yarn over twice into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2, yarn over twice into that same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2. We've got 2 trebles there, we need another 1. So yarn over twice into the same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2. We've got 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 2. So we've done 3, so we want to go all the way around now in working the same into each stitch until we get round to here, and then we'll have 12 petals. So I'll meet you back when we've gone all the way around. Okay, so we've done our 12 petals all the way around. Just completed the last one with a chain 2, and then we're going to join into the top of the very first petal that we made here. and I'm actually going to go into the very, very top, this little space here. I'm just going to do a slip stitch into that. I'm going to fasten that off. So there we've got our daisy middle. Quickly tidy it up and quickly sew in those ends. Can just run the needle down the stem of that stitch, that treble, down the post, and then just run it around. Don't pull these too tight because you're going to distort the shape of the daisy. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to look at how we join the daisies together. One tip is, when I was making this little blanket, I made all the daisies first, and then it's the next round is where you join them together. So, and then it comes together really quickly because you've got all your daisies done. They're all ready to go, and then you're just completing them and joining them together with the next round. Now with the first daisy, the very first and only the first, we're not joining it, we are just doing a complete round. And so I'm you're gonna join your choice of background colour. You are going to join that into any of the 2 chain spaces, and this round is where we're going to establish the corners of the hexagon. So there's 6 corners. There's 6 corners, and there's also 6 sides. So we'll see how that works now. So, and you've attached to your chain 2. And now this round is worked in double crochets, in sets of 3 double crochets. So in your first round, so for your first double crochet, you'll do chain 2. That counts as your first double crochet. And then your double crochet is just the same stitch that we used for the yellow. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2, yarn over into the same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2. There's no chain in between these now, so we're going to go into the next 2 chain space, and now we're going to create a corner, so a corner group. This one is a side group. We're now going to create a corner group. So we're going to yarn over, insert into your next 2 chain space. I'm going to do 3 double crochet, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, insert into the same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2, and again, pull through, yarn over, take 2, yarn over, take 2. So there's 3 double crochet, but this one is a corner, so we're going to do chain 2. And back in that same space, we're going to do another 3 double crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3. So now you've created a corner. So now we're going to work all the way around. I'm going to do corner, side, corner, side, corner, side alternately. So you'll have 6 corners and 6 sides. So we'll just do another side. So no chain, yarn over into our next space. I'm going to do 3 double crochet in this space. 2, 3, and I'm going to go into our next space, and the next one is a corner, and the corner is 3 double crochet, chain 2, three double crochet, all in that same chain 2 space. Okay, so you can see there it's going to start taking shape and looking like the hexagon. So I'm going to leave you there to continue all around to that edge. So the next is going to be a side, then a corner, a side. So the corner is 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 double crochet, and the side, which you're doing next, is just the 3 double crochet. And then you should have at the end 6 corners, and it should look like a hexagon. So I'll meet you back when I've gone all the way around the edge here. Okay, so I've gone all the way around and I've come back to where we started, which was a side. So I've just completed a corner. And then to finish that round off, just going to do a slip stitch into the second loop of that starting chain. I'm going to fasten that off. Pull that through. So now you should have a lovely hexagon with a daisy in the centre. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do this. Just quickly run that through a few stitches. Run that down that post. Run it around the edge a little. And snip them off. Always do it now because you don't want to do it at the end. Okay, so that completes the first crochet hexagon. So now we need to join 2 together. So I'm going to show you how we join the next one to the side, and then we're going to join another one below. I think we'll join 3 together at the top and then 2 together, and then you'll see exactly how it all comes together, as in with this one. So you've got 1, 2, 3. So we'll do the first 3 and then the 2 here, and then you'll see how it joins, because this one here will join along here and here and here. So I have 3 joins, whereas if we just do the first one, it's only got 1 join. So you're not going to see the full joining instructions. So take your second daisy, and we're going to start exactly as we did with the first one. We're going to add in our background colour. And we're going to start as before. We're going to do 3 double crochet. So we're going to do chain 2. And then 2 double crochet in the same space. And then we're going to do, oh, my tail's too long. And then we're going to do a corner. So 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. We'll do one more side space, and then when we get to the next corner, that's when we'll start joining. So we're going to do a side space in here. So this 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Now this is where we're going to start to join. So we're going to do the first 3 double crochet of our corner. 1, 2, 3. And we usually do a chain 2 in the corners. So we're going to chain 1, pull that loop up and pinch it so that you don't lose it. And this is how we're going to get the twisted effect as well in the join. If we do it exactly as I do here. So we want to find a corner from our first daisy hexagon, and we're coming right side up. And we're going to put our hook through, and we're going to grab onto the 1 chain that we've just done, and we're going to pull it through, and we're going to do a slip stitch, and then we're going to do another chain. Okay, so we'll do this again in a second. So that's attached that corner. So now we just need to finish this corner in our current working daisy. So 3 double crochet in here, 1, 2, 3. Now before we go in to do the next side here, pull this loop up so you're not going to lose it. And in your previous hexagon, you want to count 3 stitches along, which is, you can either count it or you can take the stitch that's above the join here, where you went from the corner to the 3, or you can count 3 stitches. You can say 1, 2, 3 and go in here. So you want to go into, you don't want to go into the space, you want to go into the actual stitch here, and then you're going to pull that loop through, and you're going to do a slip stitch, and now you're going to go into your next 2 chain space and do your side 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. And then next we're going to be doing the corner, but before we do the corner we're going to pull that loop up again and pinch it so that you don't lose it. And we're going to go into that next stitch on the other side of that three double crochet side set. So we're going to go into here and we're going to pick up that loop that we just stretched out. And we're going to pull that through and a slip stitch. And now we're going to come and start our next corner. So we're going to do the first 3 double crochet of that next corner. 1, 2, 3. Now we're in the corner, so we do a chain. And from our first hexagon, just go into the space when we're at the corner. And we're going to pull that loop through. And we're going to do a slip stitch. And then because we're in the corner, we're going to do another chain 1. And then we're going to finish our 3 double crochet for our corner into this corner space. 1, 2, 3. So that has joined the 2 hexagons together. With that lovely twisted effect. So what I'm going to do now is just going to continue as we did with the first hexagon around this corner, around this hexagon. So we've done a corner, we'll do a space and a corner and a space and a corner and a space and a corner, and then we'll join in the second chain from the start. Okay, so I'm going to go off and complete that, and I'll meet you back here in a sec. Okay, so I've finished off. So we've now joined 2 hexagons together. So we're going to do a third, and we're going to join the next one into these 2 corners here. I've started it actually. So if you see, it needs to sit on these 2 corners. So what we leave is a point at the bottom and a point at the top. So we're going into these 2 here. So I've gone ahead and I've started with my side. I've done a full corner and a side, and now I've just gotten to the corner where we're going to start to join. So I've done the corner and I've done 1 chain, and then we want to go into this corner here and pick up that loop. So I'm just going to go through this join once more. So we pick up the loop, we do a slip stitch, and then because we're in the corner we do another chain, and then we need to finish this corner with another 3 double crochet into the same space. So 1, 2, 3, and then before we go to the next side space, we then need to pick up again to attach the two. So we're looking for that space between our groups, corner groups and side groups, but we're not going to go into the big space. We're going to go actually into that stitch. Pull that back tight because you had it loose, so you didn't lose it, and then you're going to pull that through. I'm going to do a slip stitch, and then we're going to do our 3 double crochet for our next side space. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're looking for our next space here. You can count along if you prefer. You can go 1, 2, 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, or you can just see where that natural space is, and we're going to go into the stitch here, and we're going to pull that through, do a slip stitch, and then we're into our next corner. So 3 double crochet. Oh, lost my yarn. One, 2, 3, and we do a chain because we're in the corner, and then we go into the big space of the corner and we pull through, and then we do a slip stitch, and then we do another chain, and then we're going to finish off our corner with our 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and there you go. We've now joined that one as well. So what we're left, I'll leave you to finish off around that corner because that's just the side corner, and join up. So then what we're going to do next is we're going to take our next daisy, and then I'm going to show you how we join in to this space here, because we've been joining on one side here. Now we're going to join 2 sides. So I'm just going to finish up that one, and then we'll come back and we'll put this one in for the second row. Yeah, or you can skip ahead to the next chapter, which is joining the second row. Okay, but I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we've got our 3 hexagons joined together, which we'll say for this small sample is our top row, first row. So now joining the second row. So we're going to be joining a hexagon into this space here. So take your daisy or centre and start just exactly as before. So we're going to do a side group, which is chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then do a corner group. So I always do, so as a rule of thumb, always do start with the side, do a full corner and a side, and then your first joining will be your next corner. So always do a complete corner first. So I'm going to do a complete corner here. So 3 double crochet, chain 2, three double crochet, so that's your corner, and a side space, 1, 2, 3, and then our next corner is where we're going to start joining. So do your first 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and chain 1. Okay, so now we're going to pick up, and we're going into this space here. So pull up your loop a bit so that you don't lose it. And then again, let's get that out of the way. With the right side facing up, you want to come into your corner of your first hexie. And you want to pull that loop through. And slip stitch. And chain 1. And then finish off your corner with 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, pull up your loop, hold it tight. So now we want to join. We can see we've got that gap here, so we're going into the stitch above it, and we're going to take that loop and we're going to pull it through just like we've done before. Do a slip stitch and then do our 3 double crochet, because that's on our next side. We've just done a corner, so we're going to do 3 double crochet in the next space. 1, 2, 3, pull that loop up, hold on to it. Then we're looking for our next gap that we're going to join into. You can either count 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or you can just see it's above that gap there. So we're going to go into that stitch. And we're going to pull that loop through. Do a slip stitch. And now we're into our next corner. So do the first 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. So now we've already got 2 joined together here. Let me pull that loop up so I don't lose it. So we've got 2 already joined, and there's a little slip stitch loop here, because you don't want to go into the big corner spaces because it'll look odd. You want to find a slip stitch right in the center here. So I'm gonna, can you see I'm just, so a stitch that's tight there in the corner is where you want to be, and you're going to pull that through. It might be a bit tricky to get it through, and slip stitch and chain 1 because it's the corner, and then finish off your 3 double crochet in your corner space. So 1, 2, 3, and then previously we would have just carried on working around our hexagon now because we've joined, but we can't just do that because we need to join along here too. And see, because I went neatly into the tight little slip stitch there, you'll have a nice design on your corner. Okay, so we finished that corner. Normally we'd carry on around, but we're not going to. We're going to go into our second hexagon, and we're going to either count 3, 1, 2, 3, or we're just going to look for that obvious space that's there, and we're going to go into that stitch, and we're going to bring that loop through. I'm going to do a slip stitch, and then we've just done a corner on the new working hexagon, so we're doing a side group now, which is 3 double crochet. Pull that loop up, and now we need to join into our next space. So we either count 1, 2, 3, or we can see it's directly above this space here. I'm going to pick that up, I'm going to pull that through, slip stitch, and now we've just done a side group, so now we're into a corner again. So let's do our 3 double crochet into this corner. 1, 2, 3, do a chain, and then we've got our corner available here, so we're going to pull through, do a slip stitch and a 1 chain. The reason we do an extra chain on the corner is to stop the corner getting all tight and bunched up. Keeps it nice and neat. So now we have completed those 2 joins. We've gone along here and along here, so now we're just going to continue round and finish off that hexagon. So we're going to finish that corner group with 3 double crochet. One, 2, 3, side space, 1, 2, 3, and then you know where you're going now, corner, side, corner, and join to that side space there. So let's just finish that off, and then we'll come back and then we'll look at the last joining that we'll need to do. Then we've covered a single join, a double join, and now this will be a triple join because it's going to go this side, and this side. So once I've come around here, I'll come back and show you how to put this one in. Okay, so we've joined that one in and completed it around. So for the third, it's not the third, it's the 5th one. So we're going to now join this one in. I've started it, so I've done my side, full corner, side, and now I've just started the corner that we're going to join. So I've done the 3 double crochet and the chain. So we're going to start with this corner here, and we're coming in just as we've done before, and I'm sure you can all see how this is working, but I'll just show you this last join. So we're coming in and a slip stitch and a chain because it's the corner. Finish off that corner with your 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So now we know that we're going to go into this loop here. I'm going to pull through, a slip stitch, and then we're going to do our side group, which is 3 double crochet. 1, 2. If I'm going too fast, you can stop and you can pause and rewind, or you can put me on slow motion, half speed in the, if you click on the cog just below the screen. So we've done our side and we're going to pull that loop up, and now we're looking for the next stitch that we're going to attach to. So it's 1, 2, 3, which is just above that space there. That through, put it through, do your slip stitch. Now we're back into a corner group, so 1, 2, 3 double crochet, 1 chain, and now we're going into, let's pull that up out of the way, we're going into this corner where we've already joined previously. Remember, we're not going into these big spaces this time because it's gonna look messy. So you've got a nice little slip stitch here. Missed it. Which is going to keep it tight in that corner. So we're going to pull that through and do a slip stitch and a chain. Finish that corner with your 3 double crochet. 1, oops, 2, 3. Now we're looking for our next stitch that we're going to join to. Pull it through, slip stitch. That was a corner group, so now we're doing a side group in the next space. So 1, 2, 3. Looking for our next join-in stitch. 1, 2, 3. Here. Pull through, slip stitch. So that was a side group, so now we're doing a corner group. So do the first 3. 1, 2, 3, do a chain, pull up the loop. And now we're back into a corner that we've already joined previously. And if we just dig down in there with the hook, you'll find a nice secure stitch to attach to. We can pull that through. Yep. So slip stitch and chain. Finish off your corner group with your 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and now we're working along our final joining side. So we've come along here and here, and now we're coming down to this point here. So 3 sides, and that's the most sides that you have to join with this pattern. So again, we're looking for either 1, 2, 3, or it's above that space there. Pull that through, slip stitch. So that was your corner group, so now we're doing a side group. 3 double crochet, joining into our next space, 1, 2, 3. Pull through, slip stitch, and now we're into our final corner. So do the first 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 because it's the corner, and now we're going into the big space because there's nothing else attached to this corner as yet. Pull that through, slip stitch, chain 1, and then finish with our 3 double crochet, corner group, and then we've got one side to do, so that's 3 double crochet, and a corner group, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, and then join into our first 2 chain. And I hope you've been sewing in your tails as you've been going along. Because it's going to be horrendous if you leave it all to the end. Okay, so that is how, so this will be, say, our top row. So you're going to make that top row as long as you want your blanket to be. And then you can continue adding rows to make it as wide as you want to be. There's one thing that I'm just going to show you about hexagon blankets, because I got totally confused when I did my first one. And I didn't have the corners right, so I always go by this little chart that I've done. So rule of thumb is your first row always has to be one more hexagon than your second row. So your second row sits indented as so. So I've got 2, 4, 6, so I've got 10 along my top row and 9 along the next row. And then the third row has to be the same as the first row, with your 10, and then your fourth row has to be the same as your second, so it's alternating 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, and it always has to end on an odd row so that your bottom row and your top row have the same amount, and that makes your corners correct. So if you didn't have that one there, and this is what happened when I did my first blanket and I couldn't work out what was going wrong with it, you're out there. Look, you've got no true corner. So just always do. So it doesn't have to be 10 and 9. It can be 6 and 5, 6 and 5, as long as your first row is one more than your second row, and it continues those 2 rows all the way down, ending with a first row, so an odd row. And so this is a little sample of how they're actually made and put together. So you can make this as big as you want, as small as you want. I mean, the one that I've made is, I'd say, sort of pram size. It's not a huge blanket. One other thing that I have done is, some people like the edges of a hexagon blanket left with the space, or you can fill in with a half hexagon. So I have done half hexagons on my blanket, so I'm going to show you how to do a half hexagon. If you don't want to do the half hexagon, feel free to skip through to the border chapter. But the next thing I'm just about to show you now is how to make the half hexagon and how to fill this space. Okay. Okay, so the half hexagon, we're gonna do sort of a half a daisy. So I'm gonna chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a loop. So start with chain 2 for our double crochet. I'm not sure how many did I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want 7 double crochet in there. So your 2 chain is your first double crochet. So we want to do another 6 double crochet into your loop. Not in the loop. So that's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. So we want to snip that off. So we've got a little semicircle there. Sorry, bear with me while I just sew these in. Because it can get fiddly and they're going to get in the way. Okay, so then you want to do your daisy petals. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want 6 of them. So you're going to want to start let me see. I'm going to join it in between these first 2 stitches. And so we want to do 6 petals. So we're going to go, so I've joined in between the first 2 double crochets. So we're going to do chain 3 because these are now trebles. 1, 2, 3, and it was the treble clusters. So yarn through, take 2, take 2, yarn over twice, same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, take 2, take 2, and then all 3 for the first one, chain 2, yarn over twice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, so I'm going to go into the next stitch, and do 3 treble cluster, take 2, take 2, yarn over, take 2, take 2, and you've got 4 loops on your hook, chain 2 into your next stitch, you've got 4 loops, pull through, so that's 3 petals, into our next stitch, oops, did a full treble there, so that's 4 petals, we need another 2, 1, 2, 3, okay, fasten that off. So we should have what looks like half a daisy. Sorry, very good. Quickly gonna thread my ends in. Okay, so now we are ready to put that little half hexie into this space. So you're going to take your background colour. It's going to be slightly different how we work this in. So you're going to join it in between this first and second treble here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 corners to join. So this is going to join to our first corner here. So let's turn that around so we can see what we're working with. So I'm going to do chain 3, 1, 2. So 2 is your, what would normally be your double crochet, because this is going straight into the corner, this chain. So chain 2, and then chain 1 would normally be where you do an extra chain at the corner. So you're chaining 3 here. You're going to pick up this corner and attach. So we're going to pull that through, slip stitch and chain 1. Now this would normally be a full corner set, because we're doing half a hexagon, it's a half a corner, so we're going to do 2 double crochet back into this space now. So 1, 2. So although we've only got 3 in there, that effectively is the corner space. So now we're looking to attach again. So we know we're going into this one here above that space. Pull it through, slip stitch. So because that was our corner, this is now our side space, which is 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So we're looking to attach that one into here, the 3rd stitch along, pull through, slip stitch. So that was corner, side, so now we're into a corner, and this time it's a full corner. So 1, 2, 3, chain, and then we've got to find a nice spot to get that hook into. Let's pull that out of the way. It's quite tight, but let's see if we can pull that through. Yeah. So pull that through, slip stitch and a chain, because we're in the corner. So now 3 more double crochet to finish that corner. 1, 2, 3. So we're coming along this edge now, and we're looking for 1, 2, 3 into this space here. Slip stitch. That was a corner, so now we're doing a side group of 3. 1, 2, 3, into our next stitch above that join, slip stitch. So that was a side, this is a corner, so this is a full corner. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. It's getting quite quite big now for throwing it around. So now we're going to look for somewhere to join into this corner. Stitch there. Put it through, slip stitch, chain 1, finish that corner with 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Now we're coming along this final edge. So we're going to attach slip stitch. So that was a corner, so this is our final side group of 1, 2, 3, attach in here above that space, pull through, slip stitch, and now we've got another half a corner. Sorry, I knocked the camera. Half a corner now, which we're going to do. We find a space between that last treble that we've got there. We're going to do 1, 2 double crochet, and then we're going to do 1 more double crochet, so that's 3, so that's half a corner, 1 chain, and then we're going to find our final corner, which is here. I'm going to slip stitch that in, and we're going to fasten it off. And if I pull it round so you can see, we have just completed that half hexagon. So that's going to give you a straight edge along the bottom and the top of your blanket if you prefer to have the half hexagons, and you're still going to have the peaks and valleys though along the sides of your blanket. There's nothing you can do about that, but I'm going to look now. I'm going to go away and figure out what sort of border I'm going to put along here. I think I might do, in this mink colour, we might do 1 row, and then I might do a row of white, maybe finish it off with a row of white. I'm going to have a think about that anyway, and I'll be back shortly, and we'll look at what I've done for the border. Okay. Okay, so for the border, I decided to go with a row of double crochet in the main colour, and then a row of half double crochet in the white. So I've done some of it, but I'm just going to show you how I'm getting around the peaks and troughs and how we go along these end pieces here. So, as I say, I've done some of it already. Okay, so we are doing double crochet in the main colour. I'm just going to show you how I've worked across the half hexagon. So I've literally gone one double crochet in every stitch. So here I'm going to go, here's a corner space here, so I'm just going to do one double crochet in here. Oops. And then we get to, so we've got the trebles, the double crochets and the treble crochets on the side, so I'm going to do 3 double crochet in each. So I'm going to go in here and do 1, 2, 3, and then on the edge of this white stitch here I'm going to pick up and do 1, 2, 3, and then on the edge of this yellow here I'm going to do 3 in here. One, 2, 3, and then we've got the center ring. So I'm going to do 3 in there. Two, 3, and then I shall do the same coming out the other side, 3 and 3 and 3. So I'll just go along there now. So it's double crochet edge there. Again, 1, 2, 3, and then go skip then into the corner here. 1, and then go 1 in each stitch now. So it's 1, 2, 3, now we're coming around now to the corner, so I'm just going to show you how we're going to go around this corner. So we've covered how to go across the half hexagon. Now we're going to look at how we go around the outer corners, and then also how we tackle this, the sort of peaks and troughs. So we're going to be going 1 double crochet into every stitch. So the corner is 1 double, chain 2, and 1 double. So we're going to work along to this corner, which is going to be 1 double, 2 chain, 1 double. So 1 double, 2 chain, 1 double, okay, now we're working down towards the trough, peaks and troughs. So we're still working 1 double in each stitch. Okay, so now we've reached this join here, so we're going to work 2 double crochet together to keep the shape. So we go in through this first corner, yarn over, take 2, but we stop there, we do yarn over into the next corner space, yarn over, take 2, so that pulls those stitches in together, pull through all loops on the hook and then carry on working 1 double crochet into each stitch. So that's how you're going to deal with the peaks. It's 1 double crochet, 2 chain, 1 double crochet, all in the same space. As you see, it keeps that shape there by working the 2 double crochet together, and then that's our peak. So that's all you need to know to be able to work all around the edge now. So all down that one side, and then I've shown you how you go across your half hexes. So that's how you're going to work that bit. And then so for the white border, so along the straight edge now, that's going to be really easy because you're just literally going to go into every stitch. But I will just show you the peaks and troughs part, if I can untangle my yarn. Let me unravel a bit. So the white I've worked in half double crochets, which are yarn over, and then we're going to go into every stitch along. So yarn over, insert, yarn through, yarn over, and pull through all the stitches. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through all the stitches. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through all the stitches. So we're just going to work that into every stitch, and then we've gotten to a peak now, a corner. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through all the stitches. I think we just need a chain 1 here. Let's see what it looks like with a chain 1. Yeah, a chain 1's going to do that. And then so into every stitch, working back along to what we call the troughs. So every stitch, half double crochet, You don't have to do your border like this. You don't have to do a border at all if you don't want to. Right, so we've come now to the trough. You can see where we did those stitches, 2 together. So when you get to those stitches that we all did together, we're going to do the same again. I'm going to pull through, take 2, yarn over, and then on the other side of here we're going to miss that middle bit, stitch, and we're going to go into the stitch on the other side, yarn over and pull through all of them together. We'll just see how that looks now if I just carry on a couple of stitches. You see that that keeps that V shape and it keeps it nice and neat. So yeah, apart from the peaks and troughs on this side, and that's how you're going to deal with those. And then when we do where the half hexagons are, it's really easy because we've already done our border row in the main colour. So it's literally just 1 half double crochet into every stitch across there. And that, I think, is that for that blanket. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you make it. If you liked it, please put a like or a comment. Give me some comments or feedback, welcome. Give it a go, and I'll see you for the next project, which I think is the snowflake winter blanket, which will be lovely. See you soon. Bye.